the more undesirable things in the Bible, and again, they just go through all kind of verbal gymnastics trying to defend all.
Yeah, they will.
Talking about the difference between the Old Testament and the New. We have a New Testament now.
But it's still the same God, right?
Right.
I mean, yeah, if you show me a guy who advocated slavery 3,000 years ago, but then changed his mind, I'm still going to be suspicious of that guy.
Well, it's not just that. It's, for example, once upon a time I was a Christian, or at least I thought I was. I'm not going to get into the whole was I a true Christian.
Me too.
Now I'm an atheist. What I say now is different from what I would have said then. And that's fine, because I don't simultaneously claim that I was correct then. I was wrong then.
Yes,
I'll fess that up right at the beginning.
This guy 3,000 years ago who advocated slavery also said that he was the ultimate moral lawgiver.
Not only that, but his new version comes along and says that everything that he did before was right and good, and it is to be upheld.
And in fact doesn't say anything against slavery in the New Testament. So
the people who would like to throw out the Old Testament are in a bit of a quandary, because first of all, without the Old Testament, you don't have your creation story, you don't have the original sin with the fall, you don't have any of the prophecies or supposed prophecies that they'd like to claim lead to Jesus, you don't have the Ten Commandments, which is Ray Comfort's bread and butter, and is up on, I don't know, the lawn of our state capitol along with other places. So if you check all that out, what do you have? You have a story of a bunch of people believe something for no clear basis, and yet the people in that story, for example, Jesus, continually makes reference back to Moses and the law and the other thing. You can't have one without the other. And the people who think you can simply don't understand what it is that they believe. They don't understand their own theology. They are cultural Christians. They have their own invented religion with their own ideas that is not supported by the Bible, and at best, once you get them cornered to the point where they have to acknowledge this, that they're not biblical Christians or they're not based on the Bible, it won't matter to them anymore, because to them you haven't undermined that what they believe is true. You've just shown that this particular justification didn't work.
Right, and just to set the record straight, for those who think that we only beat up on Christians, the Quran is just it's filled with its share of ridiculousness, and particularly the one that hits me is a chapter called The Moon, chapter 54, verse 1, and it says Muhammad split the moon simply by pointing at it. And if they don't believe me, they could look it up. So, but again, thanks guys, and keep doing what you're doing. You're great.
Thank you much. Appreciate the call.
Yep, thanks for calling.
Okay.
And I would bet that some Muslim would say, well, what they're talking about is the divide between the dark and light sides of the moon. Not sides. That's not accurate and fair. Phil Plate's going to chew me up for that one later, I'm sure.
I think all that we atheists are obliged to do when we're debating religion is be accurate. We're not obliged to spare their feelings. You can spare their feelings if you think that's necessary in the particular discussion you're having, but